Hello, and welcome to another episode of Glorious Reacts.
Woohoo!
With me,
All
with
right.
me, I'm your host, Paul. Oh, sorry.
Yo,
I'm
there
your
you go.
host, Sweet Singapore Sling Paul.
Sweet.
There you go. Sweet Singapore Saling.
And, and tonight, joining me are my friends, the Thunder from Down Under, Arnold,
Hello.
and the Thriller from Manila, Joel.
Hey guys.
We join retired Avenger Clint Barton, also known as Hawkeye, as he attempts the most challenging mission in his career: get back to his family for Christmas. Before we continue, I would like to tell everyone that this is not a spoiler-free show. So don't watch it if you haven't watched the episode. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Yeah, blah blah blah. Clint and Kate continue their investigation and discover the location of the stolen watch. As they retrieve the watch, they are confronted by Maya and a surprise guest, Yelena. Yelena who?
Elena
Elena
Belova.
Bolova.
Yelena
There you
Bolova.
go. 5 points for Gryffindor.
Yeah. I'm Hufflepuff,
Alright.
actually.
And I think I'm Slytherin.
Wow. Wow.
Continue.
We should unpack that.
Sometime soon.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's get right into our top takeaways. Joel, lead us in.
Okay. So yeah, just like what you mentioned, there was a special. I don't know if you can call it a cameo, but a special appearance
No, I think she's.
by Yelena.
I think
Yeah.
this establishes their main connection. We've been waiting for it since the Black Widow movie.
It's a post-credit scene
Exactly.
of the Marvel movie that not a lot of people actually watched.
I know. I
Uh,
wonder now if people are like scratching. Who's that? Right? It's like, well, there's a Black Widow, but obviously it's a different Black Widow. She's a lot.
I guess they're gonna try and explain it away in the next episode. I'm not sure.
I hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's okay.
Wait. Actually, it's okay. I think it should be fine because when Hawkeye released, Black Widow was already for the general Disney Plus audience. It wasn't
Yeah,
a premiere
but-
access anymore.
No.
But yeah, it's just that people didn't really watch it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway,
There probably
so
was
yeah, that whole thing of Yelena showing up, Yelena Belova, showing up in this episode. It's a very big thought to me, and it was actually telegraphed. So if you can say it's telegraphed
Hmm.
by a lot of the things that in the episode were mentioned. Like at the start of the episode, Eleanor actually while she was leading Clint out of the penthouse, she mentioned Nat, right? Natasha Romanoff was pretty good at what she does and what she did also, right? And then they had that very heartwarming conversation between Clint and Kate about Clint's best shot.
Yeah.
Right. I actually was thinking that there might have been some sort of love triangle there,
Hmm.
but his best shot wasn't saving Natasha, but it was like not cheating on Laura with Natasha.
Hmm.
It was yeah keeping the friendship.
Hmm.
But yeah, we have that, and it was a good callback. Uh, Take it as you will. Maybe Kevin Feige also asked the writers of Hawkeye, okay, can we please put a lot of Natasha mentions so that so that ScarJo won't sue us anymore?
They're
But
not suing
they're yeah
MCU.
they're on good terms.
Yeah.
They're on good terms already. And
Yeah.
then Kevin Feige has actually also already mentioned that he does want to work with ScarJo again in the future in the MCU.
Hmm.
So I don't know under how that's gonna happen. They're probably gonna do alternate timelines to the variant Black Widow or whatever. And yeah, then that was pretty good. That was pretty cool. And they paid it off with that thing in the end with Helena showing up to exact her vengeance.
Hmm.
And confuse
on-
the multitude of
and con-
watchers.
Those who didn't actually watch Black Widow.
No.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty good. Florence Pugh, and if only for that for that look that she gave Kate towards the end. It
I
gave
know,
you that
right?
there was a lot of things were told in that one look.
Exactly. And the
You
mere
wanna
fact that she.
expound on that statement?
What did you think? Oh,
Oh
I'm
Yeah,
yeah,
actually
can
quite
you wanna
curious.
expound on
we
that
had
statement?
yeah, we kind of like discussed this off cam. And I do think, and it's going to be part of my theories and predictions and expectations. I do think because after Clint left the what do you call what the bishop uh,
Residents.
residence, Eleanor made a phone call,
Mm.
and I think a lot of people also think this, that it's my thinking that she actually got in touch with Val,
Countess. Val.
the Contessa. So that's her strong connection. So I think that Val is actually the contact, the contact of Eleanor Bishop, and she wanted just not just to cover her tracks, because she was probably wary that an Avenger was sniffing around
Yeah.
and was getting
business.
friendly with her daughter, and then certain stuff might get uncovered. And then yeah, I think that she asked Val, and I'm even going to the point where I think that the post-credit scene of Black Widow
I was wondering.
happened after that call.
So I have
So
a question. So if that puts the timing several days after they staked out what eventually became known as we find out it's Maya's apartment. A few days after that conversation in the bishop residence is what you're saying, because I thought that happened just overnight. Remember how after the conversation on the table, Clint retreats to the safe house,
apartment.
the apartment of the aunt, and then that was a very cute series of events. And then the following night was when they staked out. So unless that happened like really quick,
It's possible. I mean,
fair.
they're in New York. The post-credit scene was in Ohio.
Mm.
It's very close to, yeah, those states are like pretty close.
They are pretty close.
Right? So it's pretty easy to do that. And yeah, and I do think that Val is part of government, so it makes
Yes.
it even easier.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure, because we're
Yeah.
expecting her to be connected to Thunderbolt Ross,
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
who's obviously very much government.
Very,
She is
very
government.
angry.
Very-
Very angry.
Very angry.
Not quite
government.
yet. Not quite yet. We'll still see him
Yeah.
go show his
He
red
hasn't-
colors.
Yeah. Yeah. We haven't seen red. Red Ross. It's also
Red
a
Ross. Red Ross.
which is something on Friends. Like there's a Red Ross on Friends.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do think that the conversation, the post credit scene happens after that call, and Val just uses quote unquote Yelena to take out someone who's getting too close to the operations of her contact,
Yeah.
right? Who's Eleanor. So yeah, that I think that's where that happens, right? So yeah, I really like the fact that they telegraphed it in a way, and then we have that final call back to Nat after Elena like threw Kate over the roof.
Yeah.
But made sure that she was safe. If you notice that, she made sure that she was safe.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yep. Kate to something, and then
That she
Put onto the
knows Clint is fully capable of taking care of.
yeah,
Finally, well, I guess I don't know if you can consider that a funny thing. It mirrors him trying to save Natasha
Yeah, in Vormir.
that scene in Vormir. Obviously, nobody knows about that entire situation apart from him now. As the
Yeah.
only survivor of that event. So I found that his reaction was, I don't know if it was intended or we're just reading too much into it. I don't really care.
Yeah,
But
I think
you can
for
see the mirroring the
yeah,
reaction.
I think it was the intention of the writers and the director, but I don't think that Yelena did it on purpose. Okay, I'm gonna have him
No, of course
go
not.
get a flashback
No, of course
about
not. No,
about my
Right.
sister whom he killed.
Yeah.
She wouldn't do that, right?
She wouldn't have known anyways.
Yeah. So that was that was we had that final callback to that, and it also shows how Kate has sort of started occupying that position of Nat in Clint's life, right? That
That's an
she,
interesting point.
right? Because there's that parallelism, right? And then, but instead of Clint wanting to save Kate, what he tells her is, "Get out of here,
Mm.
Go home.
Mm.
go home."
Don't-
Right? So
Don't even
there's
bother.
a
Don't
different
start.
choice.
Don't start.
Yeah,
what he's
there's a
saying.
different choice that he takes. If you take it with the position that Kate has taken in Clint's life, it shows you the different mindset that Clint is in now, right? So yeah, so that was my number one takeaway. My number two takeaway is actually the fact. Yeah, this is gonna lead into Arnold's as well. The fact that there is so much more than meets the eye with Laura Barton.
Oh, Mama
yeah.
Barton
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Laura,
Her skills are
Mama
legit.
Barton, yeah.
Her
oh my
skills are legit.
gosh.
So we've heard her speak German, and
Uh-huh.
then she has like
She-
snooping
She
skills.
has
that are like-
knowledge of the
Of Clint's-
tactics of Nat and,
Yes.
and Clint.
She's
Right.
familiar with
She
Clint's
knows what's
contacts.
in the compound.
She knows and she
Yes.
knows she knows also Clint's contacts. She can communicate to them directly
Yes.
on
Yeah.
his behalf,
Yes.
and that they respond to her.
Yeah,
The friend
like
from
what,
the inside.
like what Arnold said, the whole information, the whole time of from Clint leaving the apartment to finding out, leaving the Bishop residence to them finding out where the watch isn't that long, isn't too
Mm.
long,
Mm.
right? But in that time, Mama
managed to
Barton
grab
was
it.
able to to reach out to her contacts, or probably
To
I
Clint's
don't know if it's
contacts.
just we don't know if it's just Clint's contacts. That's the thing. We don't know if it's just Clint's contacts.
That's true.
It might be her contacts as well, right? So yeah, so she's got those skills. There is so much more than meets the eye. I've seen
She
a lot of
uses
other breakdowns.
foreign language. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, you already said that. You already
Yeah,
mentioned it.
she spoke German.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of breakdown videos saying that there is a big chance that because if you remember from Age of Ultron,
Mm.
Clint asked Shield to help hide the fact that he was married, hide
entire family.
basically hide Laura and the family,
Yeah.
The entire family.
Yeah.
right?
And so
it
initially,
might not just have been because he's a Shield agent,
yeah.
but it might have had something to do with Laura as well.
This has added a bit of an additional layer, a flavor to the relationship. Initially, would have thought that this is entirely a family man protecting people he loves from a work that he knows, the type of work that he knows can pose a lot of danger. A mere fact that these people that he fights with can come back and take advantage of the fact that he has a lot of relationships, a very strong relationship with the family. But not only that, it seems that she could even be an agent. Ho ho.
Exactly.
So, is
Not
there
of
any
S.H.I.E.L.D.
actual
I
context in
actually
the
think-
comics?
I
have no
when
idea.
Age of Ultron was the first time I heard about Laura Barton, because in the comics, Clint Barton's love interest is actually
Mockingbird.
That's true. Well,
Bobby Morse.
and there's a lot. Maya even comes into the picture later on.
Yeah, but I mean
he's
the
got-
iconic love interest of Hawkeye is Mockingbird, Bobby Morse, who was already cast for Agents of Shield, which is non-canon, I think.
yes.
So yeah,
They'll probably have to redo that somehow.
Some- yeah. So, but some breakdown videos actually do mention that it is possible that that just as Hawkeye is probably just a call sign,
Mm.
Mockingbird was probably also just a call sign.
It's like a title,
Yeah,
like a
that can be
title that can
passed
be
from one
Yes.
person
inherited.
to another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bobby Morse might have just inherited that call sign from one Laura Mama
Oh.
Barton.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that. I like that. You should write that down as your. No, sorry, you got this from another.
Yeah, I got it from another breakdown.
Yeah,
video.
that's actually pretty
I
interesting.
have an even bigger like.
Okay, we'll
That should be our title for this episode. My other bigger Reed Richards. But yeah, go ahead. I think that we can transition.
Sure,
into yours.
yeah. I mean, I'm totally excited for the fact that Laura is potentially a agent or somebody in the spy business of notable skills, and that she's managed to hide her identity so well by hiding behind an Avenger, right? I mean, it's quite possible, obviously, that people in Shield isn't even aware of what she is, apart from I don't know, maybe Fury, maybe even
Fury and
and
Maria
Black
Hill.
Widow.
Maria, right? Well,
And Nat,
for
of
sure,
course.
Nat,
I
yeah.
believe Natalie would have been into. I'm sorry, Natalie. Natasha would have been into
I was
the
like,
into the what
Imbruglia.
their setup would have been,
But man,
and it's just so cool that there could potentially be a person in the ear setup between Laura and Clint, and it's quite possible for them to run a covert tandem, right? With just the two of them, and maybe Kate later on when he finally recognizes her as a partner,
yeah.
which goes back to the title of the show. We're partners, aren't we? And I just loved I just loved how much heart this episode has. Kate, Haley Seinfeld just continues to shine and pulls out. We know that Jeremy Renner is portraying Clint as he's been for the past 9-10 years already, as this stoic Avenger who's very much into the background, prefers the background, but now he's been posted into the limelight by being in his own TV show. And when I was actually quite worried that this would be just deadpanned, and because of how boring, quote unquote, Hawkeye has been in the past. It's very easily overshadowed by all of his fellow Avengers, personality-wise and skills-wise. Obviously, we can see him perform such amazing things with the bow and arrow, but compared to his other teammates, even to Natasha, right? He seemed to be very much like a background character. Kate, is bringing out that side of him, and now we can see how much of a deeper, more complicated character Clint is, and I'm really appreciating it. This is episode 4, are we? Episode
Yes.
4. So we are
4.
now 2 episodes away from the conclusion of this very short. Oh, I really wish this
Is it
actually
a
much
double
longer.
feature?
I
The last
don't
Probably
know.
not.
Probably not. No. I think this is scheduled to be finished on
December
the
25?
24th.
Christmas Day?
No.
Okay.
24th?
24.
I think it's 2024.
Christmas
23rd?
Eve!
23rd or 24th?
No, 23rd.
23rd,
in
yes,
the US.
this is 23rd.
In the US.
Um,
Yeah.
So
Christmas
23rd
Eve.
here. 23rd here. So it'll be. It's just so nice because this episode has the most heart. He just feels so. You just feel you. Clint, we mentioned at the top of the show that his most difficult mission has been to come home for Christmas, and unfortunately, how many days are we from Christmas? We're just a few days away from Christmas, and this
2
in the
weeks.
timeline of the show is what I meant.
Oh,
Um,
5 days?
5 days, something like
5
that, and then
In the
obviously
timeline of the show?
Mhm.
Isn't the
5 or
show
4?
on real time?
No,
No, it's not because
It's
it's
a
not
lot.
week to week.
Correct.
It's not
You're
week to week.
right.
It's like
So
he's when the show started. I think it was 6 days before Christmas because they were counting the days, and those were the days they had like a theme per day, right?
correct.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
Gingerbread and
Yeah.
then the
And
movie
it's been
marathon
missing
and the
out on
ugly
that.
sweater.
Clearly missing out on that. And when when Kate arrived in the apartment, she did mention it is supposed to be movie night, right? It's supposed to be movie marathon night, and then that's what she brought over. We got a sort of we're starting to see Clint opening up to her, not as a professional, they have this professional distance, but almost as a friend, a mentor and a friend. She gets taught how to flick a coin from across the hall.
Yep.
It is very difficult. I tried it. It didn't work.
Training montage. You actually tried it?
No, of course I did not. we have to appreciate the fact that these are people who are very much at top of their skill. Clint, we do not know the background of Clint, but we know that Kate is a two-time. Well, she's a swordsman champion, but she's been practicing with the bow and arrow since she was probably 10 or 8, I don't know. So her learning this in a overnight is not far beyond what is probably acceptable with her skill range.
Yeah.
And
as compared to Shang-Chi.
There's a lot to be there, that has a lot of meaning in that, but we've already had our discussion with Shang-Chi. We did appreciate the movie regardless. And so this is why so it feels like this is the fulcrum of the episode. This is where things start to move from build up to the more hectic climax because of how the episode ended in that fight on top of the apartment, wherein Clint realizes how close he's becoming to Kate and how Kate is becoming close, and the implication of Kate becoming too associated with Clint out in the open, with Hawkeye out in the open, and brings about that worry that she is not ready, she is incapable of protecting herself, she is not something, she's not a responsibility that he's capable of handling right now. And it adds even more, I feel, to the fact that his heart is probably now slightly larger than it began. In the he even says shares this to Laura. Says, I can't just leave this kid, right? She's been tied up, and he wants to clean this up because she is no longer a no one. She's no longer a no name, right? That he can just leave behind. He is a professional. He's a shield agent for sure. He has made difficult decisions wherein he had to leave innocent people, but probably not innocent people behind, but people that were collateral to things that were happening around him. But he couldn't do that with Kate because he is becoming very, very important.
How about your interpretation of the look that Yelena gave?
I think Yelena is also a professional, but at the same time she has discovered the heart that is from Natasha, which you could say came out of the relationship between Natasha and Clint. Now, like I said, there is a lot that Yelena does not know. There is a lot that she never got from her sister about this relationship. She just knows of this guy wherein they hanged out in a subway grate for 2 days. How many days? Well, because they were being hunted. And because they hid there in the movie. For the folks who haven't watched, spoiler alert. So there's a certain sequence in the Black Widow movie wherein they actually retraced some of the things that Natasha and Clint did when Yelena and Natasha were hiding from I can't remember.
Taskmaster.
Was it Taskmaster? Yeah, it was Taskmaster. But she only got bits and pieces, right? She would have been completely... But I'm certain that she was curious. How can my sister, who she probably by now recognized, by the end of the movie, the Black Widow movie, recognizes is a lot more skilled than she was. Or maybe not skilled, a lot more her maturity in the way she deals with things is outside of the Black Widow programming, I guess is what you could say, right? She makes decisions that is not what she would have expected somebody who has gained the Black Widow title to be doing. Right? We never saw Melina respond to how Natasha is. She just says that, we always just had that situation wherein she was just reminding her to be strong and all that, but she never commented that she was a different Black Widow. Melina being, in the back, behind the scenes or outside the film, a Black Widow herself. So I'm sure Yelena has questions. So I feel like, and this is now going into our expectations territory, I feel like she will not, given the opportunity, she will not take the killing blow. She will find an opportunity to talk to Clint and find out more about, because she's extremely, extremely curious about her sister and that life that they had, Clint and Natasha had, that she yearns to have had with her sister. It's a little bit of a thing. So that's my interpretation of that look. It's like, don't do anything.
But the look was towards Kate, though.
Yes, Kate, because she's like, step away. I'm not interested in you. I need to talk to that guy, right? Okay. That's my interpretation.
Got it.
There you have it. So now let's go into our theories and expectations. Let's have Arnold start.
Oh, thank you. I will be the level-headed person in this conversation.
I'm level-headed,
and I will start with saying that Swordsman and Ronin, so Swordsman Jack Duquesne and Ronin will have a face-off battle. And I'm just saying this only because
is this like a current timeline or a flashback?
No. I feel like, so my initial one of my theories from the previous episode was that they have had a history together, that they were mentor and student at one point in time. That Ronin, that Clint created the Ronin character after being trained by Swordsman. I'm changing that now because of the interaction they had in the penthouse. In the penthouse when they had that look. I was trying to search for any clue. Now maybe I could.
They had recognition.
Exactly.
I was
doing that, and maybe it was, you could chalk it up to Clint's professionalism. But hey, no, this is Kevin Feige we're talking about. He likes dropping hints, and there wasn't anything. And this is just such a light thing. I would have expected this to be such a throwaway thing. Actually, this entire Swordsman Ronin thing is actually not a very, very key thing. It's just something we enjoy talking about. So I believe that they aren't actually familiar in the sense that there was no previous interaction. This may actually be the first time they've encountered, and that Swordsman, Jack Duquesne, is a fan, I guess, or is somebody who is familiar with the skills of the Ronin and is curious about crossing swords, just to check,
Yeah.
His interest in swords is because he's interested in swords.
Yeah.
And the second theory, well, this is not exactly a theory because I couldn't build anything out of it. Whose is the freaking watch off? Initially, I thought it was Tony's. As in Tony's,
because it's red.
Nano
Probably you're thinking it's probably the
exactly.
glove.
Suddenly, it doesn't feel like it because of how Clint mentioned to Laura that he needs to acquire this watch because this will potentially blow the cover of somebody. Now,
no, he mentioned that to Kate, I think.
Was it to
While
Kate?
They were staking out.
Gotcha.
Staking out Maya's.
Yeah, because when she was asking a Rolex.
Right. Okay. There you go. So, who hasn't blown their cover yet? Right? Who is undercover? Somebody is currently deep undercover in something. It can't be Fury.
He's in outer space.
He's in outer space. Exactly. Looking for his slippers. Right? I mean,
and he's still supposedly dead, right? Is he?
He is. As far as people are concerned, as far as
the
Shield
public is concerned, he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
The people in Shield /Hydra /Sword believe he's dead. right?
Not Sword. I don't think
Um,
Sword.
I think in Sword, and this is just a slight thing, I believe it's only the Skrulls who are infiltrating Sword who are aware of Nick Fury's setup. That's my
Okay.
thing about it. But anyways,
Oh, wait, no.
remember it was a Skrull who actually approached Monica.
Hmm.
So could it be Monica? It doesn't feel like that, right? Who else could it be? Could it be?
Who else could
But why would
this-
Monica need to go undercover? She's already in space also. As well.
Yeah.
Well, who could it be? I'm gonna leave that to Joel to bring that up. So
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to me
Mm.
with my even more
Yes,
level-headed.
yes.
That was your cue.
series.
That
Okay,
was your cue.
all right. I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite
Yeah.
get it.
sorry,
All right, so
Arnold,
now
do better, Arnold.
I will.
Yeah.
I will try it better. eye
Yeah,
contact.
so we're heading. We started with level-headed theories. We're heading into even more level-headed theories,
This is-
expectations, and predictions.
So if their head is skewed,
It's level-headed if you're like
This way.
Your head like that. Right? Okay. So the first theory, prediction, and expectation that I have is actually I mentioned it already. The fact that Eleanor is actually working with Val and Yelena. But the other side of that is that Jack, who is the CEO of Sloan Industries, which is
the front.
and it is actually laundering money for Uncle. So
Mm.
Jack is actually working with or for the Kingpin.
This
Uncle
needs to
Willie.
happen already. Come on. I was
Yeah.
Uncle Willie.
Yeah, we got teased with that fan made fan made
The moment I see Vincent D'Onofrio in a white suit, just really just makes me jump out and says, "It's happening!"
Yeah. And the way that they edited that
Yeah, it
the
was
trailer
excellent.
was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, I do think that it's Eleanor, and I think that Eleanor might not be privy to the fact that Jack is actually working with the Kingpin.
Okay.
Or
Okay,
for
yeah,
the
that's-
Kingpin.
That's
Because
pretty good.
Duquesne, Armand Duquesne, actually just said, "I also have powerful friends." But
Right,
he doesn't
yeah.
say who his powerful friend is.
Yeah.
Right. And that's their side of that's their family's like source of power, the underworld. While Eleanor is actually works with the government. with
It's,
spies,
yeah,
all of
that's
that.
like a
That side.
defense and a security contractor of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Total
that's my expectation, and that also goes back to the fact that Yelena and Maya weren't on the same side on the rooftop. They were
No,
fighting each other.
right? We haven't
Yeah.
highlighted that one.
Yeah.
They were actually
they were
fighting each other, and they were surprised that there was like two different people showing up.
Yeah.
What the hell's going
Yeah.
on?
And then I mean Yelena used the red widow's stinger.
The
on
Widow's
both of
sting.
them.
Yeah, the Widow's sting.
Yeah. A sting that could blast away the half a face of a widow, but apparently doesn't have that same effect on Clint and Maya.
Yeah, because
Uh,
Yelena doesn't kill people anymore, so she
Toned
Toned
it
it
down.
Toned it down.
Yeah,
It's
It's
toned
quite
it down.
possible. That's quite possible.
Just wants to stun them so that she
Yeah.
can talk. Like what Arnold said. She wants to
temporarily.
talk.
Temporarily.
Yeah. She just wants to talk.
Stinger
to
stent.
talk to-
Stinger set to stun. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's my first of 4. Ha. All right, my second. This is still possible because I did mention a while ago that Kevin Feige said that he wants to continue working with ScarJo, and the possible expectation, the possible prediction
okay.
that given also the fact that we're seeing a whole different side of Mama Barton, I do think that one possible way they can do that is to come up with a spy movie or spy show featuring ScarJo as Black Widow again, Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton, and
Mama Barton.
Linda Cardinelli as Mama Barton.
As Mockingbird.
Yeah. Or
Well,
maybe
no,
as Mockingbird.
pre-Mockingbird.
Maybe that would be pretty cool.
So,
So we'd have their whole spy thing happening.
so we've already have a spy series in the MCU in the form of Agent Carter. Fortunately, it did not last very long. So how will that be? Well, I guess it'll be different because it's modern.
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
modern. It'll have like high tech explosions and stuff, so it'll be more palatable to current audiences.
Didn't the Agent Carter? Well, to be fair, I think
Not a series, right? Joel mentioned the
either
movie.
a series or a movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Can
gonna
either
be
one of
entitled How to Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, gosh. Gosh.
and
Students
they kill a mockingbird because
Yeah.
Laura goes into hiding.
into hiding.
Right?
See?
I hope they don't
Right?
title
I
it that
added to
way.
your plausibility.
Just
Yes,
because-
it is very plausible. Thank you so much for making it even more level. Right? The level
Literature students will be confused from that day on.
All right. So
Would
now
make-
we move from the very level-headed to the even more level-headed
All right.
predictions.
These
right?
degrees
so
of
first things
level-headedness.
first. My first read, Richard's prediction is towards the end. We've got 2 episodes left. Towards the end, whether in the next episode or towards the end of the last episode,
Yeah.
we are going to see cameos or appearances by the street level Marvel heroes.
Yay, the defenders! The defenders
Yeah,
are gonna
the
come in.
defenders, the defenders.
Minus
And
Iron
even,
Fist.
even Iron Fist. I don't know.
Oh.
Why not? Why not? Bring him
Okay,
in, right?
okay.
And this is what's going to officially welcome them into the MCU.
Okay.
Right? Whether it's the same actors or not. So yeah, they're gonna come in. Well, it's already been confirmed that if Daredevil is gonna be in the MCU, it's gonna be Charlie Cox,
Yep.
as Kevin Feige said.
Yes. Yep.
We don't know if the other actors are. He feels the same way with the rest of the characters. But yeah, but Kristen Ritter should be Jessica Jones. if
Jessica Jones. Yeah,
Jones
she
is gonna
needs
be
to
part of
be.
the MCU.
Yeah,
Right? So-
true.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke when you
Yeah,
said
what?
the street level heroes will be coming to the MCU. We'll
Uh-huh.
see Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner.
Oh wow!
As Electra and
Wow.
Daredevil.
And they're
I reckon I think their generation has passed.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck can stay
maybe-
as Batfleck.
No,
That's fine.
no. It can happen in No Way Home. If like if we're
Oh,
seeing variants
that's
come
fair.
in,
Yeah.
right? Like
You're
like a cameo.
And then Deadpool
Right?
comes in and says, "You're Batman, aren't you?
You're Green Lantern, aren't
What are
you?
you doing
Right?
here?"
So anyway, so yeah, we're gonna do, and even this is a little bit of a real stretch. There might be even a chance that because there's a possibility that the last episode is gonna air after No Way Home,
Mhm.
we might even see Tom Holland make an appearance.
Oh, because he's also street level.
He's actually street level.
Yeah.
He's street level. He's graduated to Avengers, but he's still pretty much street level because he
Yes.
in his off time he patrols the streets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
We haven't
we've
seen
got-
that. We haven't seen that part of his lifestyle in the movies, because obviously in the movies he's still a high school student and he's running
Yeah.
off and
Yeah.
going to the what's it called, the monument? I forget what it was called in the first movie. And obviously he went to that class trip
Yeah.
in Europe.
In
and-
Washington D.C.
Washington
Isn't that
Monument.
like
There you go.
Washington
The Washington Monument.
Washington Monument.
And then obviously
Monument.
he goes over to Europe in the second
Europe,
movie.
yeah.
So we don't see
Yeah.
him in the street levels. That'd be cool. I hope.
Mhm. Yeah. and
Unfortunately,
it-
inside me, I just hope they don't. Um, I mean, I really liked the tie-in that they did between one of the episodes in Agents of Shield with the Civil War movie.
Right.
It was a big what
Yeah.
kind of moment, but
yeah, because that shook the entire MCU.
exactly, and it showed them that they were willing to create a universe that spanned not just the MCU movies, the MCU, but also the TV series, and that one set up a lot of expectations. Unfortunately, hasn't been followed up until now, right?
Mhm.
It'd be cool, but it feels like the No Way Home storyline is far too huge to somehow fit into, unless you're talking about
No, I'm not saying
story
that, like,
falling
No Way
from
Home
the
is going
sky
to-
kind of thing set
No,
up.
I'm not saying that No Way Home is going to bleed into Hawkeye. I'm just saying that
He'll
we
just show
might
up.
see a Spider-Man. Yeah, a Spider-Man. Because all of these guys, especially Daredevil and even now Hawkeye and Spider-Man, they have a connection to Uncle Willie,
Mm.
right? Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, is sort of how do you say that? He's not an arch rival.
He's a
because
common.
you
He's
can't
a
have-
common.
He's a common enemy of
of
these
the
guys.
three. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking that it's possible for a Spider-Man to come out and show up. right? And I don't know where I read it, but I think I read it somewhere that uh, someone from Marvel said that episode 5 is supposed to shake the
I'm so
MCU.
excited. Yes, it will shake
Wow.
because Vincent D'Onofrio is gonna show up.
His steps are gonna shake the MCU.
Oh man,
Right.
I don't
Right,
know.
so yeah, so that's my first Reed Richards. I have
There's
another
more.
Reed Richards. Yes, there's more. But wait, there's more.
The Reader Richards.
Yeah, the Reader Richards, sir. All right, so
The Franklin
so we've
Richards.
been talking about how there's so much more than meets the eye about Laura Barton.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've been doing all of this speculation about Swordsman, about the origin of the sword,
Of the Ronin
and
character.
how Hawkeye came up with the Ronin character. I do think it is a very, very plausible and very, very much possible, not just plausible, but very possible, that Laura Barton might not have been Mockingbird. Nuh-uh. She might not have been a Black Widow. She probably never was because she has children. But there is a big possibility that Laura Barton is most possibly the original Ronin.
Oh my god.
That's the secret that they're trying to hide.
So
That's the secret of the
The
Rolex.
Rolex.
And that's why Hawkeye became Ronin after his family was snapped,
Because he
uh,
always had access to the costume.
he had access to the costume and he wanted to dedicate his life to his lost
Can we-
family. How
Yeah.
does he connect himself to his family? Through the Ronin costume.
Yeah.
come on, I mean, seriously, how big is Clint compared to Laura? I mean, are you talking he just retailored the suit to
Probably,
fit
yeah,
him?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? It might have been even Jack Duquesne and Laura who trained Laura. You
Yeah, I
have
mean,
all of these.
That's the reason why you don't get the connection between Clint and Jack.
And
It's
Jack.
because they don't really know each other. But
Yeah.
Jack and Laura
Probably.
Sheesh.
probably knew each other.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Oh my
Right,
gosh.
right. So that could have happened, and the Ronin that Maya sees killing, her
Is Laura.
is Laura, and not Clint.
Really?
So you're saying that
Right?
yeah, you're
Did it
saying
happen
that
in the snap?
Yeah,
Yes, it
that
did.
happened
It
during
happened
the snap?
during
Wasn't-
this.
Oh, it
Well,
did. Okay.
no,
so,
well,
yeah.
To be fair,
we don't
we don't
We don't
know.
know.
We
We
just
don't know.
know that the Ronin character existed.
killed
Well,
the father.
Clint's Ronin character existed during the snap, so we assume it's a fair it's a fair suggestion.
We don't know.
Because
And
we do
because
not know.
the Ronin character has been passed around
Yeah.
in the comics.
Gotcha.
It didn't stop with Clint.
Clint.
Yeah.
I think even Maya became Ronin for a while.
Mm.
So yeah, so there is that thing. Maybe Maya killed her own dad and
No,
then
he
she
did
just
not.
had
Come
a
on. Then
no,
swapped out.
yeah,
and
so
then-
that's my whole thing. It's Laura might have been the original Ronin. If the massacre of the Bros didn't happen during the snap, it's most possible that was actually Laura.
Wow.
So the revenge that Maya actually wants to exact is with Laura and not with Clint.
There you have it. Okay. So, for this week's key question, I wrote, to my bros. I asked my bros, with Yelena making her appearance to exact revenge upon Clint, will we be seeing a possible rivalry between the new Widow and Hawkeye? So, I noticed that after they answered, I made a small error in phrasing this question. So, I'm gonna leave it out. If you can answer either
Yes.
between the new Widow and Hawkeye as Hawkeye Clint Barton, or new Widow and the new Hawkeye. who's
Gotcha.
gonna be Kate
All right.
Bishop.
So my assumption was was Clint, but okay.
Okay. But you can answer either.
Okay.
And I might have a bonus question now.
Ooh.
Follow up. Who do you wanna?
Can you do rock paper scissors?
Oh, Rock. Oh, God damn it.
You said rock, so I did rock.
Okay. All right, Joel, go for it.
Okay. So my thing, I actually interpreted it the right way, Mr. Questioner. So I did think that it was
I'm
like
sorry.
between Yelena and Kate, and yeah, I do think that it won't continue. I don't think that it'll even happen. Again, we go back to
Mm.
that look that Yelena gave Kate. It does feel as if she was hired by Eleanor, Kate's mom. Right. So, if anything, it actually will pave the way for a new partnership between the
Mm.
new Widow and the new Hawkeye as part of the Young Avengers. That's mine.
Okay.
This just it's like out with the old, in with the new, right?
Right.
And then so when they join the new, the not the new Avengers, the Young Avengers,
Right.
as we've been slowly getting introduced to all of them in
Yep.
the past shows and movies, right? And then I go back to prediction territory.
Go ahead.
So the Young Avengers will face Kang
Mm.
in the next Avengers level movie,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
will lead actually to the introduction of the new Iron Man, which is gonna be Iron Lad. So
Mm.
yeah, I think that it won't continue. It won't even happen. If anything, they'll probably be a little bit of a spat, like the banter and all of that. But yeah, just them being young characters. I don't think it's going to be. Oh, I can do this better than you. It's not going to be
How
that kind
much?
of a rivalry.
How much of a age difference does Natasha have with Yelena? It couldn't be that
I'm
big,
thinking like
right?
3 or 4.
Couldn't be that. And would you think that Clint and Natasha are very far apart in age? Right? Because
It's
I'm
possible.
trying to. Yeah, fair. That's
You're
fair.
trying to put peg the age of
Of
Yelena.
Yelena as far as
Yeah.
Kate's, because we know Kate's like 22.
Kate is 22.
All right, that.
Yeah.
So would Yelena be somewhere
Probably
the
close,
same?
right? It's probably close.
I would think that
Natasha
Yelena
can't
still
be in her
20s.
20s.
Yeah.
No, I think
No,
that
no, she can.
Yelena is in her 20s.
Yeah.
No, I meant Natasha.
Oh no, not Natasha. Yelena and Kate should be the same
Yeah.
So
age.
like you're talking about 29 and 22 or something like that.
No, maybe closer to
25,
25 and 22.
That
But
means
it's
that
hard because we kind of like know the real age, sort of know around whereabouts the real ages of like
Don't think about the age of the actors.
Jeremy
No,
Renner.
let's not do that. It's
Yeah.
more of just the characters. I'm just trying to see Yelena as a
Young Avenger.
as a member of the Young Avenger. I think she will on and off help them, but not
Mhm.
become a Young Avenger. I think she'll stick to her
Thunderbolts.
profession. Yes, her Thunderbolt setup more, and that occasionally she joins the Young Avengers when
Yeah, for the
you know,
Avengers level movie.
yeah.
Yes,
When
can.
I would assume that the Contessa would actually throw the
The
Thunderbolts
Thunderbolts
against the
against
same.
Kang.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that her.
But yeah, that's the thing. Is it gonna be really the Young Avengers? Isn't it gonna be Dark Avengers or
There's that
or
too. Yeah.
Secret? Was it Secret Avengers? There's also a Secret Avengers comic book series.
Yes, Secret Avengers is Spider-Man, Punisher, Captain America,
Captain America,
Wolverine.
Oh, Punisher.
Yeah.
That's another Netflix
Oh, another
only
street level
character that they
Marvels.
need to
Oh
bring
gosh,
in.
and he also has a connection with Kingpin.
Exactly. Oh,
Frank Castle.
gosh.
Yeah.
What was his name? What was the character, the actor's name? We need to find out because he needs
Which one?
to come back. The Punisher.
Oh,
he needs to come back.
Netflix,
The Netflix Punisher. The Netflix Punisher.
Yeah.
John Bernthal, right?
Yeah.
Bernthal. There you go. He needs to come in.
Yeah.
There are a lot of gems in the
Yeah.
Netflix Marvel
And it's-
series.
Yeah, another connection. So John, if they bring in John Bernthal, he
Sheesh.
and Tom Holland actually work together, and then they have a good relationship. So he can bring in Tom Holland. So Spider-Man can also come in.
Spider-Man
They
is
can
the
reenact-
glue that
They
just
can reenact the cover. You know the comic
Yeah, the
cover
the
with the Punisher
the
sniping
Punisher, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh, that'll be interesting. So
Okay, anyway, your answer to
obviously
the
my
question,
interpretation was slightly different. Apparently, my interpretation was between Yelena and Clint because obviously this is
Okay.
the setup that actually brought Yelena into the conversation
Mm.
to begin with. And I think that it starts off as a personal vendetta. But I mentioned already earlier that I believe that Yelena will not um, kill Clint, even at all, actually, um, because of she wants to learn more about his her sister. So it in that it actually turns into, if we see Clint continue in his professional career as Hawkeye to some capacity, that will continue more as a she'll keep tabs, show up every now and then. We actually saw a bit of the playful nature that Yelena will be showing between, I don't know if it was between Kate or between Kate and her, or Clint and her, in the promo, and the promo that aired. Exactly. I just love her. She just has this side of just
See, and that tells you that she's actually still very young, if not by age, by personality.
her personality. That's fair.
By
That's
personality,
fair.
because she's been like
So
close.
playful.
She's been
She's very
yeah.
playful.
So when she was freed from that,
Oh,
her
now she has
playful
the
personality.
opportunity to be her age,
Yeah.
or whatever age she missed. Um,
Yeah.
I believe she will be interested in finding out the special relationship that Clint and Natasha had, and she. This is a resource into the life of her sister, because she's lost her sister, right? And she's never gonna have that opportunity to find out, to learn about the world, to learn about her experiences. But now she has. Now she has Clint. Clint will be the perfect person for her to learn about the sister that she had for just a few weeks, right? So I really hope that that relationship actually builds, and that I'm seeing that relationship to be more of like, hey, every now and then drop a, hey, tell me more about my sister, kind of thing. One thing that I really want to find out, I'm really curious about finding out how she will differentiate herself from as the next Black Widow, if she actually
Stealth
gains
goggles.
the stealth goggles. She'll
Stealth
constantly
goggles.
walk around with stealth goggles in her eyes, despite being the time of day. She'll be like
So that she
blinded.
can have 8 eyes.
She'll be blinded.
She can actually be a spider.
She could
Yeah.
actually be a spider.
Yeah.
That's true. She'll need to pull down her hair, because apparently that was the screenshot you showed me of the
Oh, yeah,
comic
with
book
the-
cover. But now
yeah.
she's just constantly having her hair
In a
tied.
bun.
I think that's the trademark MCU version of the widows, right? They always have their
Yeah, the
hair
braid.
braided. It's
Part of the women's circle.
part of the women. It's very much. Yeah, she is. She
Crossing over
probably
to the
she might be a wisdom herself.
In training.
Oops. Okay, different.
Ah,
different.
yeah, okay,
story
okay.
altogether.
Bonus round.
Yes.
Bonus round.
Yes, sir.
bonus round.
Bonus round. So I actually had 2 questions, but I'm gonna use one, so that I'm gonna keep the other one in my back pocket. Now, I wanna keep my bros on their
Under toes.
on their toes. With the another appearance, more screen time for the LARPers. Are we gonna get to see them at the very end?
That is a good question. I was wondering about that. They seem to be a bit more important, at least to this TV series,
Yeah.
than just some passing highlight of nerd culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so. They may actually, whatever gonna happen in the end, it might be some sort of like street level catastrophe, wherein the police and the firefighters need to be pulled in. So it could be that.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gonna be like the whole Spider-Man mess with Spider-Man mess with New York
Exactly.
kind of thing going on, or even the one in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where like the public helped out. Again, having watched some of the breakdown videos, a couple of the characters that were mentioned there are actually Hawkeye characters. One is, two of them are I think part of his rogues gallery. The girl who
interesting.
delivered the arrows.
Yeah.
If you notice, her bag had the name Bombshell.
Yes.
That's her villain name. She's called Bombshell, and she actually uses bombs.
She's
And the guy, the big guy who made the clink sound effects when they were fighting
Yeah.
in that episode, he's also one of the another Hawkeye villain. So there is a chance, or maybe it's just like a quick,
like a nod,
Easter egg.
like a nod towards
Yeah, because
the,
just like how Grills is also a nod to the to the comic book series that this TV series is based on, because that guy is also a character in the comic book series. Do I want them? Yeah, I would like. I don't actually have an answer for this, but I do like what Arnold said, that it might what happens in episode 5 or 6, especially in episode 5, since they're going to, I mean, the Bros are going to invade Rockefeller Center, so there might be a need to bring in FDNY and NYPD,
Yeah,
and these
New
guys
York's
are from
finest
that.
will come in.
Right? Yeah.
New York's finest.
So and then yeah, that might be something that I don't think that they're gonna come in as their LARPer characters. I hope not, because they're gonna get decimated if they do. I swore. What the hell is that gonna do? Right?
Not really gonna do anything. You're right. Yeah, that's true.
Right? But it would be cute, say for example, if
To
one
be
of them actually
fair,
does that ice wall, and then Clint has a trick arrow that actually makes an ice
Ice
wall.
wall. To be fair, Aquafina's character Katie did say that if you are up against a bully, all you have to do is do something out of the unexpected. It'll confuse them long enough for you to do something. So you never know. Don't.
Yeah, they're suddenly gonna come in armor and all of that stuff.
And then the bros, not particularly the brightest bulbs in the carton, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So it's quite possible.
That's true.
What
That's
if
true.
what if they suddenly come in all dressed in a Ronin costume?
Oh, that'll be awesome. That'll be cool. That'll be fantastic.
Something out of Pierce Brosnan's playbook.
Yeah. Right?
Or V for Vendetta even.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Thank you to my bros for tonight's very, very energetic discussion. Hawkeye is currently streaming on Disney Plus's subscription service every Wednesday. That's correct, right?
Yes.
Still Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
So when it's 3 p.m. SGT.
Your time,
HD.
yes.
Now it's
Yeah.
4 p.m. in our time.
Oh, 4 p.m. Okay, and
Yeah.
then what's it in AUD? AAU.
6:30.
ACDT would be around 5:30.
Okay,
No,
there you go.
6:30, because
2.5
it's
hours.
now 4.
It's
in our
is it
time.
DSD?
Oh,
Is
gotcha.
it,
It's DSD.
I hate daylight savings.
I know. It sucks.
Anyway, so so we've got two more episodes to go,
Yeah, we're almost
and
done.
you know, if you
Too
haven't
fast.
watched it, you should, because it's really good.
It's getting exciting
If you
now.
And
haven't watched it, why
The
not?
5th episode is supposedly ground-shattering,
Yeah.
We don't have a title yet.
Infinity Gauntlet level.
I don't
Wow.
think so.
I don't think so.
No,
It's gonna-
okay. Level your expectations. But until next week, that's it for us. Thank you for watching, and remember to always trust a bro.
Trust a bro.